There's one thing that often happens to be the problem when we get 6-channel printers like this. So this is L1800, most common used printer, uh, and this is a printer with original sys system added by factory on it. So what usually happens if you use it as a DTF and you use white ink in the middle two tanks of the sys system, sometimes if the head is not clogged and the dampers are not filled with residue from the ink, usually what happens is that these two tubes, which are in the middle, which supply the middle two dampers that go here on the head, which supplied with ink, white ink, they tend to get clogged, and especially there's one place where they tend to get clogged in most times. So where's that? That would be the valve, which is kind of placed here on the exit of the tanks. So this is the original sys system turned upside down, because this is where the ink goes out of the tank. If we were to turn it as it stands in normal usage, we would have ink flowing over here, and we don't want that, so we have to turn it upside down. So this is the valve that is standing somewhere over here when you open up the sys system from below. So this is upside down. It has a cover over here, which is screwed in with I don't know. I think each screw goes to one tank over here and also two over here. You will see how this is reassembled back. So it's actually, you're gonna see how to dismantle it in reversed when we will be putting them back together. So this is the valve that comes somewhere over here. It's like this, and what this is basically, it pinches, this thing pinches. You have this knob on the outside over here, stands here on the outside of the sys tank. So this gray thing pinches the tube, and so it prevents the ink from flowing forward to the head. And this is functional, could be functional. It's meant for closing the tanks if you are transporting the printer, I don't know, for repair or something else somewhere on a different location, and so you can prevent some spilling maybe of the ink. But if you use it with the DTF ink, that's kind of in the way for the ink, because this ink is much more thicker than the ordinary dye ink, which is pretty light. So that works with that ink, and this doesn't work, or could be working for some time with DTF ink, especially with the whites, because it's much more thicker than the CMYK. And we think that this is something that not only we, but everybody should put on to-do list when they do conversions of the ordinary printer to DTF, especially this model, because that's either not ever gonna be used again when you start using it as a DTF, or very rarely. So it's all the in the way almost all the time. So best thing to do is to put it on the list for stuff you have to do when you are doing conversions. And you would also, above all, among all other things that you have to do when you do a conversion, you should remove the valve as well here, because what happens, it pinches the tube, and it kind of sometimes even what even happens is that it's not closing back the way it's supposed to be, because you can see that's a very simple mechanism. So it only narrows the tube on that place, so it prevents flow of the ink to the head. So in most times where it will clog first is at this valve over here, and then head ends up without supplying the ink, because there are clogs over here on the tubes. You will also mess up your head, and you don't want that, because it's a pretty small problem, and it can cause you head if it's gonna be clogged, and it can even cause you another head, because if you don't identify where the problem is, then you will put a new head inside. You're just gonna say, oh, the old one is clogged, I'm just gonna install the new one inside and everything is gonna be working. It's not gonna be working if you have these two tubes clogged. So yeah, if you're doing the conversion, you should remove the valve as well, and easiest thing to do is to unhook them from this connector over here. Try to push with the syringe with the alcohol, push through. In most cases it's clogged over here, but sometimes even this connector clogs over here, so you should be checking that as well. So now we checked this part of the tube and this part, and everything's okay. And I'm just gonna put back this carrier for the tubes back without the valve, and maybe you should do a check over here on the exit of the tanks if it's clear, because sometimes maybe the residue is over here. So if the ink is not flowing through, the residue is gonna stand over here for some time, and we should be checking that as well. So one thing I'd like to mention, which I've forgot before, this thing is pretty I wouldn't say complicated, because it's simple to disassemble, but a bit you have to have a bit of a patience and maybe even a help from somebody, because you can see there are hooks that are holding this top part from all the sides. So there are 3 on this side, 3 on the other side, and even 2 on this short side, and as well as the other side. So that would be like 9 altogether. So what you have to do is, when this thing is inside, you have to somehow unhook this, I don't know how to call them, but yeah, you know what you have to do. You have to lift this side, put something inside to hold it outside of the hook, and the same on the other side, and the same on the left and the right. So it's not that simple, but since you won't be needing it no more, so you might be using a little bit of force as well, because you're not gonna damage the tube, but you might end up damaging this piece. But it's not so important after all, because you're not gonna be using it anymore. So if you have a problem, just use a bit of force and take it off. All right, so the next thing, you'd have to clean this part of tubes, and you should unhook it over here from the connector, put the syringe over here on this side, and place this side somewhere in the box for waste ink or something like that. Doesn't matter, but you might encounter this problem that your tube from the syringe, because it's usually the tube that goes on the turn of the head, which is a bit more narrow, so you're gonna have to make an adapter over here. And what I've done to solve this is I just cut a piece of tube that is for the waste ink, original waste ink tube. Just cut a piece of that and make an adapter and connect it over here to push or wash out the white ink that is inside, and just push it outside of the tube. And while you at it, you might check this side as well, that is going to the damper. So you're gonna have to, especially if you're replacing the dampers or cleaning the dampers, you're gonna have to unhook them from the dampers and test to see if so yeah, this could be tested on the connector. So you can see if I can pull the ink to the syringe without, if the handle is not pulling back, so that means that the air is coming inside the tube. There's no vacuum, so the tube is clean. So you're gonna have to get the same effect over here where it's gonna be clogged. All right, so let's say we've cleaned up the tubes. The other thing we're gonna have to check is as well is these two outputs from the main tanks of the sys system. So how do we check that? We just simply connect the syringe on the exit, pull it out. If the handle doesn't pulls inside, so that means that the air is coming through the air vent and going through the tank and into the syringe, so that's okay. The pathway is clear. But this one was okay originally, but this one was clogged, so yeah, it had some cheese whiz inside. But what we did, we just poked it with this I don't know how to call it. It's not a wire, something similar, but of course you can use a wire as well. Just poked it a few times and pulled out the ink that was clogging the way, like this. So you have to do that a couple of times to unclog it. And yeah, you can now try with the syringe one more time. So if it doesn't pull back, you clear the way and you're good. So you now have to reassemble the tubes back. So this longer tube, so you can see that there's a difference in length. So this longer tube goes over through this hole and goes to the tank that is further away. So that would be this one. Okay, so just oh yeah, you have one more hole which it has to go through, so maybe it's easier to maybe put this one first, and that one goes under. It has a hole under. All right, so we hook up that one first, so like this. All right, it has to come to all the way to the end to have a firm connection. So maybe this went I think it went over here for this hole as well. All right, so let's do a proper job over here. So it has to go through here as well, and under these 3. Yeah, it's a kind of crampy. We are gonna manage it somehow. Okay, can I pull it through? All right. Okay, that's it. And we connected it under this 3 tube that go to the right side. Connected all the way to have a firm connection. Okay, so yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be mounted. All right, and the one that goes over also goes under this one, and connects to the output of the other white tank. And we can turn it over, and you can see that there's a hole over here which needs a screw. All right, I have a lot of them piled up on other places. Okay, so let's see if this is gonna fit. I think it will. Just maybe have to tighten them up a bit more. All right. Okay, so as you can see, nothing is dripping over here, but we're gonna have to check if this is kind of looks like it's twisting over here. All right, so this is the way it's standing up when you turn it around. I think we're good over there because now the tubes are standing straight. All right, so we can connect this side as well. All right, the other one. Okay, so we connected the tubes, but we're gonna have to fix the system as well, so we're gonna need other covers. And we have that covers over here. All right, so maybe the first thing we have to mount back is this holder, which is similar to this one, but it comes over here on the end, and you can see it has one hook on the back. So that hook comes inside, and you have one screw that you have to screw in. All right, so you're gonna be having a lot of screws over here on the bottom side to put back, but you can see where it needs to go. All right, like this. So we should turn it upside down one more time. I don't think we can do it like this. We should be turning it like this. All right, so there's a lot of screws over here that you're gonna have to put back. So you see you have two that are a bit longer than the others. Those go over here at the each beginning. Okay, that's one. That's gonna be two. And what else we have? We got 6 of them that go each and every hole over here and connect to the each of these screw is holding one tank, so 6 screws for 6 tanks. Okay, one, two, three, 4, 5, and 6. They are pretty short, so you can screw them in quickly. All right, so you can see now you don't have this valve mounted no more, so that's what we took off, because we wanna prevent the tubes from clogging, and that means also we're gonna keep the flow through the head longer, so it's gonna prevent the head from clogging as well. So this is the top cover, so you're gonna have to be careful with this because it's kind of complicated to mount. Here you're gonna have to push one side to the inside. Okay, so this is how you reassemble this system. And one more thing we have to do is to place back the dampers. How do we do that? Pretty simple. Just gonna have to, why are we placing back or installing the dampers that are new? Because the old ones were halfway filled with residue of the white thing, so they cover up the filter over here, and that's not gonna work. But we will do one more video where we will show you how to clean up the dampers, how to wash the residue out, how to clean them, so you might be able to use the old ones as well. But yeah, this is what you have to do with unclogging the tubes. And one more thing you're gonna have to do is to not with this syringe, to pull the ink with the ordinary syringe, like this one. So you place it here, push inside a bit and pull out.